This is not H.G.Wells' The Time Machine, and that is because I left my copy of H.G.Wells' The Time Machine in Aberdeen. So, for the sake of this video, let's just pretend that this shoddily drawn, blue-tacked on version of The Time Machine is The Time Machine. H.G.Wells' Time Machine is not the first time travel novel. There have been instances of time travel in literature as far back as Hindu mythology, and time travel has been touched on in literature about as long as literature has been going. The Time Machine does, however, represent a stepping stone within time travel fiction, because it is the first mechanically derived form of time travel. All the time travel narratives have gotten their time travelling abilities through supernatural abilities, or just from falling asleep for a really long time, like in Rip Van Winkle. The Time Machine is a classic of science fiction and completely redefines time travel fiction. However, it is not a novel without its flaws. H.G. Wells himself admitted that it is obviously the work of an inexperienced writer, and yet the novel has such a yearning for adventure and discovery that makes it such a timeless, if somewhat flawed, classic. The novel takes place predominantly in the time traveller's study, where he is relating to us his adventures in the time 8002-701 AD. In the future, the time traveller discovers a number of alarming paradoxes and social changes that have completely redefined the world from his own Victorian sphere. And the first of these is that humans no longer exist, but instead humans have evolved and diverged down two completely different routes as a consequence of class divide: the Eloi and the Morlocks. So Victorian! The novel has a keen grasp of scientific theories and speculation, which some might find is surprising for a Victorian novel. The time traveller frequently tries to piece together exactly what's going on in this bizarre and alien world that he has landed in. And quite bravely for Wells, the protagonist isn't afraid to say when his theories are wrong, which is something that does happen quite a lot in the novella. The action is a little difficult to describe without giving away all the various twists and turns that the story has in store for you, but I can divulge this much safely. The novel is primarily narrated through the time traveller's account, and as the consequence of him having no intelligent companions throughout the majority of the action, it's largely devoid of any kind of dialogue, and as such, the form that the novel ultimately takes is largely observational. I was surprised, astonished, and enamoured at how much this novel is a celebration of scientific discovery and ingenuity throughout the Victorian period. There's one scene where Weena and the time traveller discover this ancient green ceramic pyramid, which ultimately turns out to be a science museum, and within it, all the time traveller does is look upon all the various discoveries that have been made since the Victorian period, and the amount of excitement in it is both awe-inspiring and a little bit tragic at the same time, because not only does it show how far society's come, but in the context of the novel, it shows how far everything has been lost. The novel's only a short one, but it should definitely be on your bucket list if you're a fan of science fiction, fantasy, adventure, or just a book that can make you both laugh and shock you on the same page. Considering this was the work of an inexperienced writer, it goes to show what a literary giant H.G. Wells ultimately was. So this week's question for your comments is this: have you read any novels that have made you feel inspired by science and technology? Is it a classic or something nobody has ever heard of before? Has the book changed your views on science and technology, or was it more just a temporary excitement that you've now got over? Let me know down below. Thumb the video if you liked it, and if you want to spread the word on H.G. Wells' time travelling classic, sharing the video would mean the world to me. See you on Thursday. Ta for watching. The book. B, C, D. So this week... the novel is only a short one, unlike this fucking video. Glad I got through that, I just made most of that up. The novel has a keen grasp of scientific theories and... Do I need to burp? Maybe if I just eat a hairbrush. What am I? What is this? It's like some kind of reaching up a woman's skirt. Oh, so many outtakes. Rip Van Winkle? Rip Van Winkle. Dinkle, no, lost it totally. Like in Rip Van Winkle. I've done it again! It smells so badly of farts in here.